Joining us on the news now to talk more about this is Nelson Ekujimi, a public affairs analyst. Mr. Ekujimi, thank you very much for joining us on the news. Now, how important is this committee that the federal government has just set up? And you recall that President Buhari had earlier said about 10.5 million Nigerians have already been lifted out of poverty in the last 2 years. Of course, many people have disagreed with that. But with this new committee now, how do you see things changing for the average Nigerian?
Yes, thank you very much for having me. I think the establishment of this committee is very, very timely in view of the fact that, the figures churned out by Mr. President of 10.5 million Nigerians, that have been lifted out of poverty by his administration in the last 2 years. We must recognize the fact that, realistically speaking, that figure can be questionable in view of the COVID-19 pandemic, that affected the world as a whole. And be that as it may, we also recognize that whatever gain the government must have made with regards to alleviating poverty has also been undermined by the insecurity situation in the country as well as the rising cost of food prices. So by and large, this committee coming up at this point in time is very, very timely in view of the fact that the economic well-being of the Nigerian people is very, very threatened. And, a government that recognizes that its primary responsibility is to the welfare and security of the people has taken this bold initiative. I think it's a welcome development. It must be commended, and we need all hands on deck to ensure that that committee achieve the goal of the government.
What kind of task would you say lies ahead of this committee that's just been set up?
Oh, it's a very onerous task because of the fact that, I'm aware that as we speak, the government has a register of the vulnerable and the financially, underprivileged citizens. One expects that, as the committee goes into its work, that the committee will be faced with, coming up with, catching new persons who are falling below the line into this register. And knowing the way data gathering is in this part of the world, you and I know that it will not be, a tea party. This is an environment in which people are very, very economical with information about themselves. And at the end of the day, one expects that the citizens must be kept abreast of the reason for this committee and the fact that, it's for the economic well-being of the Nigerian people. And the government should do all within its powers to gather a reliable, and viable data such that, the goal of that committee will be actualized.
Nelson Ekujimi, public affairs analyst, we thank you very much for joining us on News Now.